everyone, welcome back. And it's just me, you got me, chaos me. And more chaos is going to happen because this frame that you're looking at is headed breakout rooms. And during the last presentation, we kind of agreed there's only 7 people around. So we thought maybe we should avoid breakout rooms. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a sort of shared development together of questions. So yeah, I'm skipping ahead. So what you're going to see in a little moment is a question stem. The question hasn't been developed, and we'll have the chance to think about the skills and questions that could be fleshed out to form a complete question. There'll be chances to brainstorm question ideas, join the chat, select options, and then choose the best ones and develop them further. So we've allocated about 30 minutes to this so that there's plenty of time to really get stuck into it. And thinking about, remember, we need to do the mark allocation as we go along and the marking instructions as we go along. So hopefully everyone feels that they can contribute. Don't worry if you don't feel you've got a lot of experience or you don't have much to contribute. This is all about upskilling, and the most important thing is to just give it a go, have a go, and learn from it. The goal in each case is to create one complete, fully fleshed out question that covers a wide range of higher content and presents challenge. Remember, in the back of our mind, we need to think about there needs to be challenge in there to hit some A marks if we can. We're not looking at those smaller questions at the beginning of each section. We're looking at the questions that tend to come towards the end of each section, in this case, section 1. So we're not going to have a breakout room. We're just going to move on to the next little section. So I'm skipping ahead, and but hopefully what you're looking is a skill wheel. And what we've got at the very centre of that wheel is a question stem, which in a couple of minutes, Kim and I will be quiet and you will have a chance to have a read over it. And we'll play elevator music in the background, not Colin will sing to us. And what we're going to ask you to do is read the question stem and start to think about what ideas are popping in your head. What could you ask about that? If that's the beginning of a question, where could you go as a teacher? What could you write? What could you ask your own students to do with it? And round the question stem there's a wheel, and on each of those frames is a focus of one skill. So there's an analysis and development methodologies frame, design, implementation, testing, evaluation, and we do have a computer systems frame because an important component is integration. So we should be trying to find in those more difficult, longer questions, some opportunities to integrate if it comes naturally. So we're trying to look for that. So all the way around, you'll find those individual frames, and on each frame, there's a sticky pad, a note, just grab one and type up your idea. That's the plan. Anyway, now, I covered all that? Yeah. If you can't remember your content, below the wheel, immediately below the skill wheel, we have the content grids that you can buzz about, and you can get, just if you need a reminder of what is it that's in the higher STD. It is a higher STD question, and we've got all of the content grids there for you for each of the skills, and we've also got computer systems, so you'll be able to bob about and have a quick look at them.
Yeah, so now that you can see them just at the bottom there, Morag's just kind of hidden them, so you can see them down the bottom. If you click anywhere on the Miro board, guys, you automatically become an unfollower of Morag or me, because some people are following me, who's following you. It's like a wee train of people. It's nice. So you can zoom in and out for context. So what I would do is zoom right into the stem and have a little look at that stem already in greater detail and have a bit of time to read it. And then if at any point you get lost and wander off into the deep, dark depths of the never-ending Miro, you can just follow Morag or I and you'll get back to sort of that middle area, and then just go around the wheel and sort of answer the questions. Just ideas at this stage. We're not looking for fully fledged questions, just ideas of what you could ask questions about, just like what Colin and Andy did at the start of their last session there.
Yeah, it is just your ideas. We'll have time later to fully flesh them out, so just go for it. Remember, the one thing is, we're kind of doing a double act here, Kim, and we're switching things about, but you can break a stem if it makes it easier to ask analysis questions. And what I mean by that, so if you want to ask an analysis question and you see the STEM, you might need to break it a little bit, put in a little bit of information and then ask a question and then rejoin the STEM later on. So like part A might naturally sit in the middle of what we've got as a question STEM. So don't feel to be afraid about that. I'm going to shut up. We're going to play elevator music and leave you guys to sort of wander about. If anyone gets lost, give us a shout on the mic, and we'll try and help out. There's not a particular time limit on coming up with ideas, but we've got lots of them there. So really, I think, Kim, we should maybe sort of just give you an idea of what's going to happen next. So yeah, what we're wanting to do is to take all our participants to really focus on our different skills. So we kind of need you to identify what you would really like. If there's something, looking around all the we've got 2, 4, 6, 6 different frames in the wheel. Maybe it's a question you've contributed or a question you quite like the look of somebody else has contributed. There's just some ideas there. And we would like to now start fleshing these out to actually come up with some questions.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that everyone has something to work on, and we also want to make sure that we cover as many of the different skills as possible.
Yeah, and what we're going to do in a little moment is ask you to, we'd hoped in the breakout rooms, we were going to do a little discussion here about who wants to do what. What we want to do is make sure we've covered as many different skills. So we've got a question that's got lots of different skills. We don't want 6 at this stage, 6 implementation questions. We would like a variety of skills and getting as much as we like. We want everyone to do at least one. If we show you the kind of end to the right, if you're following me or whatever, then over here we have got documents, a Miro doc. And the Miro doc is a clickable document that you guys can type in. It's a joy. And once you feel ready to go, is grab a post-it, bring it over with you and leave it just below the document. We'll take a blank document template each, if that makes any sense, Kim. Over to you.
Grab a post-it you like the look of and bring it over to the bottom of a document that's going to be yours, and allocate yourself a post-it and a A4 sheet, really, isn't it? At the moment, there's 9 template documents, and if we need more, we can copy them across, but I think that's enough to kind of get us started, isn't it? The original question stem has been copied into each of the template documents, so everyone should be able to work on a separate template of their own question and type up the wording for their fleshed out part of their question. You don't need to worry about anything like formatting, question, labeling, anything like that, because we'll do that later when we pull the questions together. This is purely just an activity, and all that's really needed is the question wording. And as you see when you start to use the documents, you'll agree with this, Morag, there's not much real formatting you could do anyway. You don't have much control over anything, but the page will just continually get bigger, won't it, as you type into it? So there's plenty of space.
Yes, it will. Yeah, so basically everyone will have one template document each with below it the post-it that they're working on to develop into a question, and remembering to put in your mark allocation and how you feel those marks should be awarded, the marking instructions. So grab your post-it, bring it over to the right, place it on below the document that you're going to work on, then somebody will know it's yours and they've not to use that template, and they'll move further to the right to grab a blank template that no one's working on yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the first thing you want to do is then click on the bit at the top where it says skill focus, and then type in either analysis, design, implementation, or whatever it is you're going to be doing. And then the next, click and delete the bit that says type your question here, obviously, and type up the wording of your question, and add the number of marks you want to allocate it after the equal sign. And then basically you should be able to kind of click and delete the provide marking instructions and explain how you want your marks to be allocated. But just remember, the most important to think about is the mark allocation itself and the marking instructions at the point really when the question's being written, rather than writing the question first and then doing it afterwards. So have a think about the bigger picture.
So if we get 9 blank ones there, haven't we? And they're all identical.
9 blank ones, yeah.
They're all identical. Yeah. The
Yeah.
question, the STEM is duplicated there. We need people to go in and click in. First of all, what is the skill focus that they're working on? So if it's analysis, you click in at the top and talk about it as analysis. Replace the bit that says type your question here, type over that, click in, type over it, and put in your wording. The number of marks allocation, put in your mark beside the equals, and then underneath you can start typing up your marking instructions. And we will format everything into a single question later on afterwards, and we'll make that available. Yeah.
If you find the Miro
Looks
board like environment itself too distracting, you want to focus on what you're actually typing, you can click the little double-headed arrow at the top above the template document you're working on, and it'll like take you into
Yeah, up there. Yeah, right at the very top. When you click on the document, you'll be able to get a wee pop-up appears, and there's a double-headed arrow you can click.
So just now we'll give you some peace and quiet to get creative and start working on developing your question. We'll all be available to give you some help if you need it. If you get lost, then you should just be able to follow one of us and we'll be in the general vicinity, or you can just give us a shout in the chat. So choose a document. They don't have to be in order just now because we'll reorder them. Just
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about sequence. Just do as Ian's done. Grab hold of a template, stick your post-it below it, and start working on that question and see how it goes. Yeah.
Okay, so the plan is we're going to pull all of them together and edit them and turn them into usable questions for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll turn that certainly into a question. We'll sequence it, put like the analysis, design, and we'll do it in the sort of
chat about it at the next session, maybe.
Question, the question paper order with marking instructions. So yeah, there'll be a usable question from it. Yep.
Right. Will we stop there then?
Yep. Thanks very much, everyone.
Yep.